What's going on, everybody? Jake Invest here. I'm going to talk about Lyft stock. Is Lyft stock a buy? This is not financial advice. This is just my thoughts and opinions. Okay, we're going to look at Lyft stock. So Lyft is down a lot from its 52-week high. So if we look back, Lyft IPO'd at $78 and it tanked all the way down to $20. Now it's back up to 21.56. Is Lyft a buy? It looks like a good time to buy in because it's all the way down at its bottom, and theoretically it could shoot back up, but is it a good buy fundamentally? I mean, probably not, because they're losing money, a lot of money. I prefer to buy profitable companies because profitable companies, they produce profits, which makes it good, obviously, for investors, because people don't like investing in companies that are losing money, because companies that lose money tend to crash during a recession or a stock market crash or a stock market correction. So let's see what they got going on. So as of right now, Lyft is down 65.8% from its all-time highs at the price it is currently. But is it reasonable for the stock to be down this much from its highs? I would say yes, because if you look at the earnings from 2021 Q4, their revenue was almost 1 billion, but their net income was negative 258 million. So their net profit margin was negative 26.66%, which is pretty bad if you ask me, because they're losing a shit ton of money. But I don't know how they're losing so much money, but they are. And then in Q3 they lost 71 million. Q2 they lost 251 million. Q1 of 2021 they lost 427 million with a revenue of 600 million. That's a net profit margin of negative 70%. This company is losing so much freaking money. It's insane. But they did beat their EPS and their revenue in Q1 of 2022, right? So their expected EPS was negative 0.07, and they reported 7 cents, and their revenue, they expected 845 million, but they reported 875. So today they tanked from $30 all the way down to $21, which isn't good. So they fell about 34% today. It could be a buying opportunity, but honestly, I would say it's not a buy for me. I don't want to take the gamble on Lyft. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion, and I would personally never buy the stock unless they showed it to be a good buy. So the article says that Lyft's losses in turn narrowed to 196.9 million compared to a net loss of 427 million in the year ago quarter. So instead of losing 400 million, they only lost about 200 million this time, which is a lot better, but they're still losing a lot of freaking money. But however, Lyft's revenue is down 10% from 2021's Q4. Additionally, its adjusted earnings before interest fell nearly 27% to 54 billion. Now what? Retaining drivers is likely to be an ongoing challenge. They had 17.8 million active riders and a 9% rise in revenue per active rider to 49.18 per rider, which means they have a lot of people driving for their company. Lyft is offering heavy incentives and increasing its marketing efforts to attract and retain more drivers. This spending, however, is taking a toll on Lyft's profitability. So they're losing a bunch of money because they're trying to get a lot of drivers, and they're trying to pay the drivers more, and they're not making as much money from it. And people probably aren't going to get a Lyft ride if it's like super expensive. You might as well go with Uber if you want to charge so much money. Consequently, management guided for adjusted EBITDA of 10 million to 20 million in Q2. That was substantially below Wall Street's expectations, which had called for adjusted EBITDA of 83 million. Wow, that is not that great. So, I mean, this is just a little crash course on what's going on with Lyft. I personally don't think it's a buy. However, it could freaking shoot up. A lot of people could buy into it, so that's really up to you if you want to get into it, but I'm out. I'd rather put my money in like AMD, Micron. I'd rather buy Snapchat than Lyft, right? I mean, they're both losing money, so if I'm gonna buy a losing money stock, I'm gonna buy Snapchat because they're doing really well with active users and stuff. I really like them. They have like 300 million active users, but I'm just saying I'd rather put my money in something else. There's a lot of other good stocks that I'd rather put my money into as well. I would rather put my money into ETFs. I think ETFs are probably the best thing to ever invest in, like VTI, VU, and VT. VT is the world stock market, right? VT is 60% United States and 40% international. So I think it's a really good ETF, right? I would say VTI, VU, VT, and if you really like tech stocks and you believe in them, VGT is a really good one, a really good ETF to get into because, I mean, it has a lot of percentage gains. It gains a lot more than VT and VTI and VU. That's something you might have to look into. I actually made a video about it, the top 5 ETFs by Vanguard. I made a video. I'll put it up in the corner over there. But hey, you know, it's up to you. I prefer getting into ETFs and a smaller percentage of my portfolio, put it into really good companies, right? But all stocks are risky and they're all scary to have, even ETFs, but you're most likely going to make money over a 10-year period, right? So the video will be up there. I hope I could help inform you about the Lyft stock, and y'all have a good night. Lyft is losing a bunch of money. I don't think it's a buy, and please like and subscribe. That would be awesome. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.